and ladies. So this is my first video for the channel anyway. This video will just be a trade recap on today's trades that I took on ES. So we basically trade NQ and ES only futures, right? Because they are the most volatile yet a bit more stable. So I'll go through what I was looking for in the market today before I traded, the confluences that I wanted to be met, my daily bias, and show you the trade that I took. Okay, so nothing special, and most of the things that I will talk about you'll probably be confused, or they will sound foreign to you, or some of you have already heard some of these words but you don't know what they mean, right? All of that is good. I will simply make videos for each and every single concept explaining what it is. For now, if you already know how to trade and you know these confluences that I'll be talking about, then good for you. Then it will be easy for you to understand. For everyone else and beginners, well, I'll make videos for you as well. So it's all good. So let me go onto my screen here, trading view, and show you how I took this trade. So my daily bias, first and foremost, I trade New York session only, right? New York session, market open, that's what I trade. And my daily bias coming into the day was bearish because ES on 4 hour was bearish, on 1 hour it was bearish, even NQ on 4 hour, on the 4 hour time frame it was bearish, and even on the 1 hour it was bearish, right? So everything was bearish, meaning I was basically looking for shorts, right? Again, I was looking for a liquidity sweep of a London's high or Asia high or previous day high, then a change in order flow to the downside, some form of retracement, take trades, and then continue down. Right, that's what I was looking for because everything is bearish. However, the market won't do what you want it to do, right? It will do exactly what it wants, and you have to follow that. So let's see, this is what we had for the day, right? And we also had a news event called PCI, which talks about inflation and all that, and inflation rose rose or had risen. Damn. Anyway, inflation went up by 3.3%, right? Which the event or the news were released pre-market, which is 8 a.m. New York's time, right? So if you look here, this was our London's high, and then this here at 14:30 my time zone, because I'm in South Africa. That's when the news were released, and we swept London's high, right? So what did we expect? In this case, at least a change in order flow down so that we can get shorts. That would have been ideal, right? Taking into account that everything is bearish on the higher time frames. So I'll play a few candlesticks and we'll go through everything and I'll explain what I'm seeing and all that good stuff. See, so let me play a few bars. Boom, that was market open, second candlestick. What happened? We broke structure down here. Now, does this mean we're gonna take a trade just because we had a liquidity sweep of London's highs and we broke structure down? Well, definitely not. That's not what we're gonna do. We're gonna wait for a form of retracement into a continuation confluence. That will either be a retracement into a fair value gap or equilibrium. And then when that happens, we're gonna scale down to M1 so that we can see an inverse fair value gap into the confluence, or a break of structure into the confluence and an inverse fair value gap out of the confluence, or a break of structure out of the confluence, right? So I was gonna draw for you here, but then my Mac is slow as hell because I'm running OBS on the side anyway. So another thing is we don't look for trades 20 minutes into market open, right? Meaning, as you can see here, down here it says 1540, so I'm gonna have to wait up until 1550 before I can look for trades. So let's see what happens up until then. So two more candlesticks and we'll speak. This one and this two. We have three. So let me remove. Nah, it's actually fine. So we had a fair value gap here for this is Nasdaq. Fair value gap there. Let me do this. Boom, right? Another fair value gap here. Now, do we have the same on ES or not? Because now ES and NQ, they are correlating indexes, meaning they move or their charts are more or less the same, right? So we also had a fair value gap here for ES. See, but then we almost broke structure to the upside here, right? We were feeling this fair value gap, but then we almost broke structure to the upside. So I'm gonna play another candlestick to see if we're gonna break structure to the upside or not. If we do, then we're gonna change our bias. We're gonna start looking for longs instead of shorts, right? So there, we broke structure up. I'm gonna remove that one there. No longer focusing. I'm not sure why. Anyway, I wonder how long that has been going on, but we're back. We lost focus for some time, but we're back. Anyway, we broke structure up here, meaning we are bullish on ES. I'm looking at OBS to see if we're still good or not. On NQ, nothing happened actually. This is the first fair value gap, which we're gonna have to invest for us to become bullish on Nasdaq, right? So we're gonna monitor it and see if we're gonna change direction or not. So nothing, and there we go. So that fair value gap was invest. Now what are we looking for? Some form of retracement into equilibrium or a fair value gap. Then we're gonna take trades off of that, right? So ES and NQ are both bullish. We had our liquidity sweep down there. See now that it's giving it away, but it's fine. So I'm gonna remove this, remove that, and that. Okay, we're gonna go to M1. What are we looking for? Come on now. Wait. Spoiler alert. Anyway, an investment will gap in and out. And again, also take into account SMT so that we know which index are we gonna trade on, whether it's gonna be ES or Nasdaq. In this case, Nasdaq is the one that was more bullish and then ES was more bearish. But then we took trades on ES because that they switched somehow, right? So we had an inverse fair value gap in, right? What are we waiting for? A break of structure out. So we're gonna mark this high here, meaning if we break this high, then I'm gonna take longs, right? Yes, and then let's see on NQ. On NQ, I believe, did we break anything? Nope. We only had this inverse, but then we broke out there. So let's see. For ES, I would wait for it to break up here. So if Nasdaq, my bad. So if Nasdaq breaks structure up and closes with a full body above this horizontal line, and ES also does the same, right? Anyway, ES does the same. We close above this horizontal line here. Then I'm gonna take longs, and my stops will be just below this low here, right? So I'm gonna play a few bars and let's see. Okay, pause. Come on now. Don't be too fast. Don't get ahead of yourself. Anyway, on ES we broke structure up. Did we do that? Now we're gonna have to check if we did the same thing on Nasdaq, right? Before. Ah, lovely. We did on Nasdaq. So what are we gonna do? Place buys or take longs. What are we targeting? Previous highs. So we're gonna go to M5 and look at previous pros of liquidity or previous highs that we can target. We have this one, right? This can be the first one, and then this can be the second one up here, up there, right? Confirm order. Then where are we gonna put our stop loss? The stop loss will, oh my god. Oh, I thought my orders would cancel. Anyway, our stop loss will be below this low as I mentioned, right? And then, oh my god, please, our stop loss, please bear with my Mac. I don't know what's happening with it, but it's low. But then, if the video is not lagging, I'm gonna post it. So yeah, trade opened. What are we waiting for? We let it run to either stop loss or take profit, right? So we're gonna play the bar and see what happens. And we don't modify the trade at all. The only thing that we can do is if the market closes above this high, we can move our stops to break even. That's the only thing that we can do. But then, besides that, we let it run. So let's see what happened. There. Oh, and our take profit was hit on that. So to keep it above with you, this was more or less a lucky trade because the market doesn't move this way all the time. You should keep in mind, you will never see this long candlesticks up after placing a trade, right? So the only reason why this happened was because there was a news release between Trump and Iran having an agreement of some sort, which made the market to spike, right? So if we go to NQ as well, you'll see that even NQ spiked as well. So yes, I'm doing a trade recap based off of a trade that I took. So I obviously knew what was gonna happen. But usually when you trade in live, you basically don't know what will happen, right? If you hit take profit, then good for you. If you hit stop loss, well, it's part of the business. So again, this was just a video to open my channel. So welcome to my channel. My name is Andy Sunda, and I'll see you again on the next video. Peace.